You're watching EVH and Gear TV, brought to you by Design39 Media. Visit design39media.com for all your website, photography, and video production needs. Microphones for EVH and Gear TV are provided by Rode Microphones, and official Van Halen merchandise is provided by vanhalenstore.com. And now, here's your host from Ontario, Canada, EVH artist Eric Broadbent.
Hey guys, what's happening? Happy Saturday evening to you all. Eric here, EVH and Gear TV. We are live for a short little bit. What time we got? 10 o'clock here Eastern Standard Time, probably about a half an hour. Just trying to relearn some old material, actually. Quite old material from 1991. Hopefully we have a good stream here tonight as far as connection. I was just getting some reports that the connection was bad. I did a speed test and everything was great. Great download, great upload, but still getting some warnings from YouTube. So hopefully we're all good. Hope everyone is fine this evening. So there's a song I wrote back in 1991, an instrumental called The Power, and I'm trying to relearn it. And it's actually kind of cool. I wrote it for a Guitar Wars contest I entered in, like I say, back in late 1990, early 1991. And it was you had to have like about a 3-minute or less instrumental to get into this contest. So I wrote this one called The Power, and it's got a lot of a little bit of everything, a little bit of rock, a little bit of even polka in the song, which is kind of cool. So I'm trying to relearn it because I do want to re-record it. And you know something I didn't do is I didn't even open up the chat. So I need to do that. 1 second. I don't even have my chat open for the first time ever. I don't even know who's watching at the moment. This kind of wasn't exactly 100% planned. So let's just grab open the chat. If there is anybody watching. I don't even know if there's anybody watching. Oh, let's have a look here. Bear with me here. I was ready to scrap it when we were getting some bad connections. So I didn't open up the chat. Let's mute that. There we go. Learn it because I do want to re-record it. Oh, that's me talking to myself. Oh, yeah, we do have a few people in the chat. Goodness, okay. 1 second, let's pop this out here. All right, and let's close this. All right, so that is better. Let's have a look, and let's bring it over to the other screen over here. Actually, I have a few people. We got Single Coil Lover jumping in, saying hello. R2, R3 Locknut is here. Tony Dustin, good, wonderful evening, Eric from Suffolk, Virginia. And yes, the Kramer, you've got your Floyd back. Yes, the other night I was playing the other Kramer without the Floyd, and I was a little naked. Mark Norris is here saying, sounding great. Nuclear Cheddar says, nice. Mr. Helix is attached. I do have the Helix for sure. Single Coil says, sounds great now. Quality looks great. Thank you. Awesome. Justin Gardy's here saying, hey, everyone. And, Will is on his way. Nice. Very nice. Joseph Sherman says, hello from Colorado. Mark Taylor is here saying hello. And Single Coil says, we're behaving in the chat. So hopefully everything's going good. I did some new things on my Mac recently as well, too. I'm one of the things I talked about a while back on the show is I'm not one of these guys that normally upgrades software immediately when it comes out. Actually, I don't usually upgrade for a very, very long time. And when I got my Mac, I think it came with, and this is kind of boring to most people, I'm sure, but if anybody's into computer stuff, that you might find it fun. I had Yosemite was the operating system of Mac that was on there, and I upgraded to El Capitan, which I think was one of the best operating systems there was for Mac. And then Sierra come out. I upgraded to that about 6 months after it came out, and it wrecked everything audio-wise. I had to roll back to El Capitan. Recently, High Sierra come out. Upgraded to that, and everything was working good as far as all my business apps and all that kind of stuff. And then it just went havoc with my webcam. One of the things I hate with my webcam, by default, they'll have an autofocus, and they'll do one of these things, right? They'll focus on you if you move out of the frame, whatever, like a camera would do with autofocus. I don't even use autofocus on my cameras. And so it just played complete havoc with it. So what I did is I partitioned my hard drive on my Mac, and I was able to dual boot. So on a small partition, chunk of space on my hard drive, I put the old El Capitan operating system on there. So now I can dual boot my Mac. So I'm actually in this other environment right now on the Mac, which allows me to have better control of my webcam, or webcams for that matter. And it seems like it's working a lot better, but knock on wood. Let's have a couple questions, and we're gonna start doing some jam and see if I can figure out the song. It's kind of a really neat track. Russell Tabor's here saying just checked in, and Tony says I updated and screwed up my protocols. I loved El Capitan. It's a great operating system. And so Nuclear Chair says, do I ever play through headphones? What are your experiences with this? Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, tonight, obviously I'm wearing headphones right now. I do play through headphones a lot. Now that I've got some really nice reference monitors in here from Presonus, I play through those a lot as well too. But I do like playing through headphones. With the Helix, it sounds great. You just have to keep in mind that headphones and amplifiers and monitors, it's all going to be different. So if you have a patch that sounds really good on one, it might not necessarily sound good on those other mediums. So always be prepared to compensate a little bit. And I always recommend too, don't necessarily build a patch if you're using Helix or any of these modelers. Don't build a patch necessarily with headphones. Try them with a monitor or through a guitar amplifier just to give you a more realistic approach. If it sounds good there, then when you come back to your headphones, it should sound pretty good. Angelo is here. Angelo J. Richetti's here saying good evening to all. And Mark Taylor says, darn, I need to get those measurements to you, Leanne. Okay, that's for something else. Tactical Six String is here. And okay. And Tony says Pro Tools screwed up, so probably with the new operating system. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me one bit. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a kind of a rundown of this song called The Power. And this is really cheesy. This was recorded, believe it or not, on an old Fostex. No, not a Fostex, a Tascam Porta Studio 244. It was a pretty cool analog cassette 4-track, or even might have been an 8-track, 244, I forget what it was, probably a 4-track. And it's a Linn drum machine on there, some keyboards that my brother-in-law played at the time, and then I'm doing all the guitars. And there's a lot of guitars for the amount of overdubs are in there, and it still doesn't sound too bad for cassette. So here's what we got. Let's see if we can play it. And I'll bring the volume back a little bit so I can talk over a little bit. Okay, you should still be able to hear me talking. So there's a real heavy duty rhythm guitar in there. If I'm still plugged in. So there's a lot of different parts. Here's the main rhythm part. So real simple like that, right? Let's pause it for a second. It's got a really cool lead too, so that's your main riff. Okay, then the main melody of the lead part goes like this. And here again, I'm learning this too. Okay, so I'm going to try to attempt this There's a, so I'm going to give you a bit of a breakdown. There's that kind of part there, and then there's a little bend like this goes up into, no, sorry. Hang on. See, I've lost it. I'm going to have to do it with the music in a second. But the run cool part coming up in the song, there's a Joe Satriani thing that was, I was very into Joe Satriani at the time. And stuff like this, you know, like Joe Satriani does it. It sounded horrible. Probably sound better in the neck pickup. Okay, so that kind of thing, I was very into that at the time. So there's a part in the breakdown in the middle of the song, and I'm gonna yeah, show more of the guitar neck. I'll see if I can pop on the other camera. It may mess up here, Tony. I'll try that. Okay, one sec. This was giving me a lot of grief tonight. I'll see what happens. All right, let's see what happens here. Knock on wood. You'll be able to see lots of camera here. I mean, lots of guitar neck. All right, where are we at? Hang on. You haven't lost me yet. You might have. All right, hang on. You lost me on that one. I'll try to show more of the neck. It's my other I was having a lot of technical problems here. Let's try that again. 1 second. See if I can get my second camera to work. And it's not coming up. I might not be able to get it. So I'll try, if that's the case, I'll try to hold the guitar up like this for you. Okay. 1 sec. It may go black here. 1 second here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you might be able to see me. All right. And you are going to have that autofocusing going a little crazy. Okay, so I was doing, this is a Satriani type of thing like this, right? Okay, so that's the thing that inspired me. So what I'm doing for the middle part of my song is I'm going like this. Now this is tricky. Kind of playing the melody because you know my lead I was doing. Okay, so I'm now tapping it. And then I do this. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, I lost it, so. Then it goes into an Iron Maiden type of a thing, kind of like, yeah. Like that, and then it gets really fun. So instead of me talking and talking and talking, let's try it and see if we can actually play it. And let's say hi to a few other people that jumped in last minute here as well too. Gary Davlin's here, Sean Zimmerman is here saying hey all, hey Eric. And the Pacer is made in Asia. I don't know the exact location. That's a question that he has. Larry Olson's here. What's up? Okay, so let's give it a try. All right, we're gonna try playing with the song, and we'll see what happens. So there we go. That wasn't too bad. I had to think of the ending. Let's go back to the other camera. So how was that? Who else is here? We've got MB215's here saying, whatever, everyone. Sean Zimmerman says, hey, Tony. Mark Taylor and Steve Segura is here as well, too. So I'm just trying to relearn my song I wrote back in 1991 called The Power. It's actually a fun song, and there's a couple rhythm parts I know I'm totally doing wrong. It's really bad when it's your own song and you can't remember it. I know that I'm messing up something in the rhythm. Something like... I never documented it when I wrote it. At least the lead part I've got down pretty good. And there's a lot of wah in that song too, so the wah would be really, really nice. I'm using my Helix rack with the floor controller right now. I don't have the expression pedal in here, so I can't use a wah. But it's kind of neat. Let me see, try that again. And then does this. And something like this. Oh. Obviously, that's taken from Van Halen. You know, that's that kind of thing he does a lot, right? And you know, that actually would have been right around the same time too as a Carnal Knowledge with Pound Cake. Nope. To get really carried away with the Van Halen stuff. Let me see. You just read that Epiphone company is making a new camera. They are distributed and manufactured under the Epiphone umbrella. Really nice guitars, I'm telling you. Very, very nice guitars. This thing stays in tune like $1,000,000. Plays like $1,000,000. It's rock solid and quite heavy, which I like about it. I like. There's the camera I should be looking at. Yeah, this thing, I just love it to death. Let's try a new riff. Let's have some fun with this one. one that I'm working on. Thank you, Gary. He says, awesome playing. Thank you. Appreciate that. Sean says, so if Gibson goes under, does Epiphone, Kramer, and whatever else go under as well? I think there's a lot of, let me go back to the other camera for a second. There we go. There's a lot of negative press right now with Gibson and to talk about all this and all that. The way I look at it, I try to stay neutral with it just for now because, the way I was trying to explain this to some people the other day, like let's think of us average people, right? That aren't the multi-billionaires out there. For a debt, like if one of these companies has, like, let's say like a $500 million debt, that's probably like a $500 debt to us. So, I mean, that can be absorbed through different things. And I'm not even saying that's the right number that we should be talking about, 500 million or anything like that. I wouldn't worry about it. I don't think anyone's going to go out of business or anything like that at this point of the game. So I think all the companies under the umbrella are somewhat, I think they're secure, and just have to wait and see what happens. But Kramer is under that umbrella as well too. But I think I'm optimistic everything's going to work out for those companies. What was the other question here? Dustin says, I saw you unbox the guitar, but forgot the pickups. Are they Duncan? They're a higher output than the Duncan, than the Assault. JB in the back. I forget what's in the bridge. I'm sorry, in the neck pickup. But yeah, this one is definitely hotter for sure. This one's definitely a hotter pickup for sure. Go back and look at the description on my other ones. It'll tell you the exact pickup. I totally forget what it is. But this one's a lot hotter, and that's one of the reasons why I gravitated to this guitar tonight, because it's got a lot of guts to it. We'll try a little bit of Van Halen stuff to show you what she sounds like for the Helix. Switch cameras. Let me see here. Thank you. There we go. That's proper camera. What do we got here for comments? Yeah, Tony Dustin says you're gonna have to go to the doctor if I keep knocking my wooden head. Let me see. Sean Zimmerman says, oh, what he meant was if the debt of Gibson is just being labeled the debt owner because they're the parent company. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know how all that stuff works. I'm just gonna sit back and read and keep fingers crossed everything works good because they're a great company. Mississippi Treasure Hunter Chris is here saying, what's up, Eric? Hello, all. Happy Saturday. Totally awesome. And Tony Dustin says, Eric is running a little hot tonight. I don't feel tired. Awesome. I got to brush up on the Van Halen skills for sure. I was actually just offered a gig. I can't do it, but I was offered a gig to play in a Van Halen tribute band on a cruise ship. And as flattering as that was, because I used to play in a Van Halen tribute band years ago. Number one, I work from home here and I can't be away from the family. It just wouldn't fly. But it was very flattering to get the offer. That was very, very cool. It would definitely get me back in the game to brush up on my Van Halen chops. That's for sure. Back in the day, I used to be able to play a lot better. I'm playing more sensible now. I can't play near as fast, and a lot of the riffs that I used to be able to play are kind of gone by the wayside now as well too. But I used to really know the Van Halen back in the day. There's another one I'm working on. That's another, not that, but I mean, in the key of F sharp. So I was doing some Mr. Scary the other day doing this stuff. And you can tell totally I was working, obviously some George Lynch influence on this next song I'm going to play. So, you got your Mr. Scary. Okay, so here's mine. I start off with this one. I use a wah pedal for this, and I really wish I had it to show you. And I use it like an envelope filter, and I'll roll the wah from the fully cocked all the way back to all the way forward really slow. So I'm just pedaling on a tone like this. And how's it go again? Let's go to the other camera for a second so you can see it. Okay, so the riff would be like this. Okay, and then I do this really cool lead part like this. So picture that kind of going over and over and over. You know what? I could probably even, let me see if I can actually loop it. I might be able to. Let me go onto my looper of the Helix, and I see a Helix questionnaire I'll try to answer. Okay. So here goes the loop. Godspeed if I can do this. Excuse me. So that's the loop. So and then there would be a guitar like this. Let me go down to my loop for a second, make sure I'm not on there. Go back to my rhythm patch. Okay, and then the rhythm guitar would kind of go around like the pre-chorus. So when that guitar goes, something like that. Get back into. Back to the camera here. I saw another question, and I'm going to be wrapping up here in a second as well too. Tony says, is a Helix something you can send patches back and forth to other Helix owners? I love this patch. Yes, very, very easily. So if you go to line6.com on the website, on the different tabs on the top, products, all that kind of stuff, you're going to see custom tone. And on custom tone, there's a spot where people share all their patches. And it's as simple as when you create a patch on the Helix, you save it, and you can go, we call it a preset now at that point, and you go file export, send it off to your computer somewhere, and then you can just simply upload it to the cloud, and it's there, and anyone can download it and put it onto their Helix. Now, the only thing you might have to change for it to work for you is if the person was, getting really fancy with routing, like maybe instead of just running out of the 1/4 inch, maybe they're running out of the balance XLR cable outputs on the back of the Helix. And if you weren't hooked up that way with yours, you're not going to hear anything. So you just have to find out how he or she has created it and make sure you assign it to the proper outputs that you have. But it's very, very simple. And you were saying that you liked my patch. Yes, he's just asking right now, is yours saved there also? Yes, if you look for, my username is FloydRose_5150. So if you go there and you search for that, or you search for, even if you search for Eric, because a lot of the patches have my name in the patch, you'll find them. I think I have about 3 or 4 of them there. And one of them has an IR, which is like an impulse response. It's using that as opposed to using a cab. And we'll get into that discussion later on, the differences between cabs and IRs and things like that. But there are free IRs that I have that I use with that. And I even have a link to where you can download them either through my Dropbox or through my website or something. I forget where I stored them, but they're available for download as well. But very, very cool. And on top of that, even if you want to get into the Helix and you don't want to necessarily jump into the full-blown hardware, you can buy the Helix native plugin, which is quite affordable. It's on there as well as software. And whatever patch you create on the software, you can actually share with your various versions of the Helix as well, too, whether it be the Helix LT, the floor, or the rack. So they're interchangeable all the way around, which is very, very cool. So yes, long story short, indeed, you can get those. You can get those there. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just play that riff, the power, one more time. I'm going to try to get through it one more time because I'm trying to really, really learn this really well, and I'm going to record it. We originally recorded in 1991. I'm hoping it'll be done again this year in 2018. So let's give it a try and see what we got. So those of you that might just be tuning in late, this is a song called The Power I wrote in 1991. All right, let's give it a try. And Tony says, okay, ordering Helix, but not the rack unit. Yeah, go with the floor. It's fine. You'd be totally fine with that. And if you want to save a few bucks, go with the LT, which is slightly different. Doesn't have the scribble strips. And what I mean by scribble strips is like the little LCD displays over every button. And I'll tell you what they are, but you can still see it up in the big, large glass display. So you can save yourself some good money. And you're very, very welcome, Tony. No problem. Okay, so let's try camera 2. We're going to try the power one more time. Go. That wraps it up. That was the name of the song I was trying to think of. Mississippi Treasure Hunter says, Love that lick, almost wasted years sounding. Yeah, that's very similar, and it comes in really quickly as well too. And it's quick, but it's relaxed. It sounds better if I don't have the delay on it as well. You can tell a lot of different things that I listen to. Obviously, I had some Maiden back in the day. Let's see. Obviously, I listened to a lot of Maiden back in the day. The other day, someone was mentioning one of my songs sounds a lot like YNT, so I was doing this song, which is called Fall Silent. Well, there's that one song, Mean Streak, and I didn't even know it, but I think it goes something like this. It's fairly close, but the only thing that's the same about my song is it's in key of F sharp, and it's got a little bit of a pedal tone. Something like that. I don't even know if that's right. That's the only part I know of that song, but mine goes. Oh. And it goes. And there you go. That's it. So listen, it is 10:42 here. I'm going to conclude the evening and watch a movie with Junior. And I just want to have some fun. Want to go over that song called The Power. So I am actually starting to write a lot of stuff. I've got many songs written from years ago, going back, just like Van Halen does, going back into the archives and looking at what's cool, to bring those up, to freshen them up to speed, and write some new stuff as well, too. And I'm really hoping that I might be able to see a new instrumental / vocal record this year from me. If not this year, next year. But I am writing a lot. I'm playing a lot more guitar than I ever have. And I have to give hats off to Line 6 for really inspiring me with the Helix. I've been playing a lot more because, it's late at night. I can be playing now, which sounds loud to you guys and girls out there. I'm playing through headphones. I'm not making any noise inside the studio here other than clacking of some strings. So it's pretty cool. It does. Tony's got 5% battery life and unplugged in. iPad Pro sucks the juice. So proof everyone have a great night and rock on. Thank you so much for including us as always. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining in. This is awesome to have you. So have a look down below, all the details down in the description down below, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Most of you are already subscribers as it is, but watch the Facebook page, facebook.com/EVH Gear TV for any kind of broadcast announcements. Working on it. We're just wrapping up the Rode microphone contest. It's going to be wrapping up in about another day, I think. It's not too much time left on it. It's pinned. There's a post on the Facebook page. You can win a really cool Rode studio kit, including one of these mics over here. It's a, you can kind of see it. It's a Rode NT1. You get the shock mount. You get the a studio audio capture device. All kinds of great stuff. That's my first prize I'm giving away. And then I've got a huge one that I'm going to be giving away right away as well too. And I'm just trying to think of the best way to do that. Whether I'm going to do it through Facebook or it's going to be some kind of other thing. I'm not sure yet. But lots of good stuff coming up. Mike Michaels is here as well too. And Tony Destin says, and donate to the cause. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So listen, have a fantastic night. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And I'm going to go watch a movie with Junior. And we will see you very soon. One more riff for you. That's horrible. Thanks, guys. We'll see you real soon, all right? Until next time, cheers. I am now on Patreon. If you enjoy my content and wish to support my channel and what I do, then please check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/EVH Gear TV. Your support assures the continued growth of this channel and a fun community in which to share our love for Van Halen, music gear, and much more.
My name is Eric and I've been looking guitar.
Video production services provided by Design 39 Media. Visit design39media.com for all your website, photography, and video production needs. Microphones for EVH and Gear TV are provided by Rode Microphones, and official Van Halen merchandise is provided by VanHalenStore.com.